I heard, and trust me, I'm going to get them good, okay? I'm going to get them good. I heard hybrid, right? Might be a car. Any other thoughts? Volkswagen Bug. One of the things that comes up often is a van, right? Because it's a practical vehicle that you can pile a lot of people into. One car was actually brought in to address a market that analysis of car markets didn't feel green energy, although they didn't define it as green energy, was not being addressed, and it was a Saturn. It was a car that was practical, logical, comfortable, and the buying process, more than anything else, was minus negotiation. First time that had ever been presented to buy a car was a comfortable buying experience. And I believe it was to a target of green energy. How many of you over there enjoy negotiations? Not many. How many over here enjoy negotiations? Do you start to get a feel for how we're different? But really, I mean, as much fun as we can have with it, I really want it to stick. Because I want you to work through the next 3-4 days thinking about it. And ideally, when you go back, I want you to think about the colleagues that you have. Because if you start to use this with your colleagues, you'll start to use it with clients. And you'll understand, for some of you, you're going to be horrified at the level at which you provide a disservice to a client. Because you're selling from predominant red energy, and you have a client who sits squarely in green. And you don't realize it because you're not self-aware. And it happens across the way all the time. One of the things that you can start to see, though, is where you do create a connection, okay? I talked about extroversion and introversion. So red energy and yellow energy share extroversion. So you share that ability to make noise and take too long to sit down and connect with ideas because you think out loud. So you have a place to connect. But also the other half of this room, if I divide it the other way, across the center, up in front of me here is thinking energy. So blue energy and red energy can also come together around facts, around logic, around tasks. It's great to get a task done. It's great to have structure with how we go after it, okay? So you start to see a connection that you can make, but what's very different about that if you're dealing with green or yellow energy, the back half of that room, it's all about feelings. The front of this room is logic and task, and the back of that room is feelings, emotions, and relationships. So the connection that green energy and yellow energy tend to make is on relationships. And we don't have time to do the myriad exercises that I could take you through, but one of them I love to do is we talk about a team that's got a limited budget and can't send everybody on a trip. And every single time we do this in the work that we do, right, it's all about performance over here. And at times it's also all about performance here. Who gets to go? Whoever made the numbers. Who gets to go? We'll define metrics, not just numbers, that we lay out together that lets him go. What invariably happens in the back is, not invariably, often happens in the back. Green energy says, you know what, if one person can't go, let's all stay. Let's do something different that costs less money so we can all go. It happens almost every time. Yellow energy kind of defies the principle of logic and says, we'll find a way to bring him. But here's what happens, right? Who's got to pay the bills?